But he is going to raise up this King Jack.
Chinese restaurant owner in Jersey trying to take down this pot with King Jack. Only one to beat now is Thomas Paul, who has a 7-9 in the big blind, but it's suited.
Very nice hand to take a flop with out of the big blind. Call.
All right, he's going to stay involved, make the call. And the flop is an ace-7-3, so Thomas out flopping Goo. Check.
It's a nice flop for Thomas. It's a pretty easy call when your opponent bets on this kind of texture.
And Goo will make the continuation bet. 275.
The decision street on this hand, really for both players, is going to be the turn. I don't know whether Goo is the kind of guy who fires a double barrel, and here you see he's turned no equity. He doesn't have anything besides king high. So is he the kind of guy that keeps up a bluff here, or is he the kind of guy who, whenever he doesn't have a strong hand or a big draw, just checks it down and tries to get to a showdown? I don't know, and I doubt Thomas does either. You see the action clock ticking away there. One tell you see from inexperienced players is they act quickly when they're certain of their decision, and they take longer when they're uncertain of their decision. So you see Goo here, not exactly sure whether he wants to bet, but he is going to fire here, 650,000, and this time, it's probably going to work for him. I mean, that is a tough bet for Thomas to continue with.
Thomas wondering, does this guy really have an ace? That's a big bet, and Goo puts the hot sauce in his face. Gonna take down that pot, beautifully done, and shows it.
Oh.
Shows the hand. Oh, Goo opens up the fortune cookie, which says, "I just bluffed you, sucker."
What do you get as a Club WPT VIP member? You can save money on shopping with Saver's Guide. Save money on events with Score Big. Save big, win big at clubwpt.com.
Looking to get into the game? It's easier than you think. Sign up at clubwpt.com and you could win big, just like Jim McLaughlin.
I won my way into the tournament by playing online with Club WPT. I'm the only one that's won a seat to a main event of the World Poker Tour online 3 times. I've subscribed to about 5 years ago and have been playing ever since, along with my wife, who has her own separate account on Club WPT. We started playing poker about 12 years ago, and I never liked the idea of tennis. I never liked the idea of bowling. Golf to me is ridiculous because you take a stick in the hot sun and hit a ball as far as you possibly can, and then you do it again. And then I just happened to be channel hopping one night, and I saw Mike and Vince. So I'm watching, and I'm thinking, gee whiz, they only get 2 cards. 2 cards, how tough could that be? I never thought I'd get this far as actually cashing. I won $6,993. Is this where I say I'm going to Disney World? It took only 75 years to cash the major event. I was able to do it basically on what amounts to a free roll by being a member of Club WPT.
Yeah, congrats to Jim. What a great guy. He made the money, and you too can play for a seat in the live WPT main event. Multiple tournaments all day, every day on clubwpt.com.
Well, here's a look at our updated chip counts for you. Matt Perry still out in front. Goo, the short stack, really a pretty even field at this stage. Nobody running away with it. Nobody on their last breath. Anyone's game.
Couple folds into Thomas Paul.
He's on the cutoff with Queen Jack suited.
I like the way Thomas is playing today. Very selective. And he is going to raise to 275. Cliff goes out. Ooh. Oh, wow. Look at that squeeze. Beautiful pair of kings.
Let's go, Goo. Well, this is going to be trouble for Thomas because Queen Jack suited is not a hand you fold very often pre-flop, especially against one opponent. It plays very well post-flop. So Goo gonna 3-bet to 860,000.
That goes out.
And I would expect Thomas to call in position and take a flop. Oh, no. Thomas has just put Goo all in. This is gonna be a disaster.
I'm on it.
And that's a quick call.
Goo has been pretty snug pre-flop at this final table. He really seems like the wrong guy to make this move against.
That's not good.
It's the same hand in blackjack.
Thomas remains smiling, though, hopeful. Anything could happen. But right now, Goo has all his chips, and Thomas would be down to about a little bit over $1 million if he should lose this pot, but we will see. 5 cards to come. Here is the flop. It's an ace, 8, deuce, and that is not good for Thomas Paul.
We've got some serious sunglass on sunglass violence going on here.
Oh, that is the card, Vince. The 10 of clubs. That creates a world of possibilities.
Hit the ball. Come on, one time. Hit the ball.
Any club, 9, king, and they will all be delivering this pot to Thomas.
Goo, the owner of a Chinese restaurant.
Hit the ball. Come on.
He's like, pair the board. 8 of clubs, no good for you, bro.
Oh, it's a 3 of diamonds. Goo gonna take down a big one and double up, and that is gonna demolish Thomas Paul's stack.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of really scary, man. Wow.
15 out from
That is brutal for Thomas. I mean, you just didn't have to do that, so he's not out of this tournament, but he's only going to have about 1 million chips left.
Well, that marks the end of tonight's coverage from the Borgata Poker Open here in Atlantic City. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the WPT.
The World Poker Tour is sponsored by Club WPT. Play poker for real cash and prizes today at clubwpt.com.
It's got my shot. Guys, look at the card. Prepare for this thing. One time.
You never know when your time is going to come. To rise above the rest. To seize the opportunity. To be crowned a champion. Is it time for your story to be told? The World Poker Tour.
Tonight, we're in Atlantic City for continuing WPT coverage of the Borgata Poker Open. I'm Lynn Gilmartin. We are in the middle of this battle at the final table, and joining me to call the action are Vince Van Patten and Tony Dunst.
Well then, very exciting. Matt Parry is still out in front. He's a young guy going after his first major title. He's a professional and he's playing like one. But the guy that's surprising is Greg Weber. He's a firefighter. He's not a professional player, but he is heating it up. He is spraying these guys with the hose. Very impressive, Tony.
Yeah, that's right, Vince. But you know what? The story right now, for me, is that both our short stacks entering this final table, Gu Chen and Cliff Josephy, doubled up when they were all in and at risk. And so now they are very much in competition for their first WPT title, along with the rest of these guys.
Yeah, I'm definitely most established, but these guys can all play. There's no weak spots in this game.
It's been a really smooth couple of days. I don't really expect that to continue.
I don't want to show off. I'm not here to brag. Just got to do my thing.
I try to just stay focused and keep a pretty positive outlook, but I can't say I would ever thought I would be in the final six of the WPT.
I play poker with a specific intention of beating others. That turns out to be quite good in tournaments.
Yeah, everybody wanted to win. Everybody wanted to play tournament.
Tonight's champion will win over $789,000, a $5,000 JetSmarter membership, the stylish Hublot Big Bang Steel watch, and of course their name will be added to the WPT Champions Cup. Cards are ready to hit the air, so let's get down to the final table.
All right, thank you, Lynn. Matt Perry out in front at 8.6 million. He's followed by Gu Chen at 7.2, and our short stack for the moment, Thomas Paul, a little over $1 million. All of them competing for $789,000 up top.
Andy's a 20, blinds a 61-20 action on the firefighter. Greg Weber. Ace-9 doesn't like it. He's going to fold it. Thomas Paul.
More Make God laugh, make a plan.
Also folding. Cliff Josephine with a king, queen of hearts.
Cliff is going to assemble a raise here.
270 to go. Gu holds. Matt Perry, the chip leader, goes out, and now Gia with a pair of jacks.
The right brain.
He does cover Cliff here, so although Thomas is really short and at risk of going out, Gia doesn't need to worry about getting eliminated by Cliff. So I'm a little surprised he just called pre-flop, but either way.
Flop is a 9-8-3. Gia looking good, but he's going to check it. Cliff has a 4 flush here, though, on the flop. That's 300.
You know, again, in Gia's shoes here, it's close between calling and raising.
And he is just going to call it. 3, pairs the board.
Awesome card for Gia, and one of those cards he should maybe lead out on because your opponent is going to check back in position so frequently.
Well, he checks, hoping to hit it hard on the river. Not to be a deuce of diamonds. So Gia's out in front.
Gia certainly value betting now. Cliff flopped huge, but got to the river with nothing besides king high. And he appears to be thinking about this. Wow. Cliff makes the call with king high, so I guess he felt Gia could have jack 10, 10-7, 7-6 often enough that he should call there, but that seems optimistic to me, Vince.
Went for the hero call, it backfired. So Cliff Joseph, he pays off Gia in a big way. Gia looking good. There's the Dr. Pepper bar.
Well, Jeannie and our friend Tom Wheaton hanging out there enjoying some Dr. Pepper and the view of the final table.
Thomas Paul used to be in the finance business, now playing a lot of poker, goes out. Cliff gonna take a breather, licking his wounds after that last debacle. And now Gu, who has a Chinese restaurant in Jersey, is gonna raise to 250.
Matt 3-bets the button. We've seen Matt do a lot of 3-betting at this final table, and that's not only a result of his playing style, but his chip lead.
And now Gu.
Everyone else wants to avoid playing big pots because he can eliminate them, but they can't eliminate him.
Matt taking that one down.
To succeed in poker, you really have to work at it. You have to put in the hours. And the biggest thing is being mentally strong. Like, everyone goes through tough streaks in poker, and you got to be able to get through that. I used to play chess a lot when I was younger, and I've always had a thing for strategy games. And when I found poker, I was kind of like, wow, it plays to a lot of my abilities and, you know, my interests, but I can also make money at it, much more so than in chess, and it just worked out perfectly.
Matt Perry, chess player, top juvenile chess player, out of Rochester, New York, now living in Vegas.
I've played some cash games with Matt Perry before. He was very composed, thoughtful at the table. He's got a great, aggressive game.
It's fun to make a little money at something you're good at. A game! As you don't have to have the best hand, you gotta love poker.
Fold.
Action with Gu here.
With a solid ace-king. He will put in a raise, makes it 260 total. Matt going out. Gia gonna fold king 10. Firefighter going away, and now Thomas Paul.
Trying to finish me off?
Thomas, very much our short stack with about $1 million in chips to start this hand. So he is under 10 blinds. Typically when you're that short in the big blind,
260.
you're calling a small raise with almost everything, looking to catch a piece and then get your money in.
He's made the call, hoping to get lucky. Let's take a look at the flop. He does get lucky. 7-4 deuce on the flop. He's got sevens.
Yeah, and that's as good as it gets for Thomas.
I have 7 of these time chips.
Goo here,
I'm on it.
yeah, he's just gonna put them all in. Thomas with the quick call. So this hand is essentially playing itself.
Queen 7, huh? I say.
Sevens out in front. Thomas Paul with a big opportunity to double up.
Club's no good. I see it's coming. I feel coming. Thomas. That's not good. Looking at the guy, okay.
He's like, all right, well, if you say so, I'll just gather up my things, take my glasses off. Not gonna need this hat anymore.
Jack of spades on the turn. Didn't come then.
Yeah, male base cards, they're not working.
Thomas looking good. Down to the river. Can Thomas double up? Big favorite to do so. One more card to dodge. There's Jen, his fiancée, sweating it out. Oh, boom! A king!
I told you, Gummy.
And it's going to knock out Thomas.
And just like that, we lose Thomas in 6th place in dramatic fashion.
Nice playing,
Goo knocks out the first player of this final table and improves his position.
Thomas Paul out of here at 6th place. The former fund manager has to say goodnight. And right now, our first casualty, over to talk to Matt Savage.
Thomas, tough way to go out there on that river card, but tell us about your experience this week.
Oh, I had a great 5 straight days of poker. It's a little grinding, but came in a really good place today. I had what I thought was a pretty solid plan of waiting for one of the 2 guys on my left to rebet me light and shove on them, and that didn't work.
Well, an amazing run this week, and
yeah, great players. I mean, I don't know. I had a great time. Well, thank you. Hold on.
Thomas Paul is the first player we have to say goodnight to. Stick around for more from the Borgata Poker Open.
We need a good suck out. Yeah, good suck out.
Looking to get in the action while on the go? Yes! Then join me and other real poker players on Play WPT. And it's not just all-ins and coin flips at Play WPT. Fun, free poker, anytime, anywhere. PlayWPT.com.
We are back at the Borgata Poker Open, where one of these players, Tony, is going to take home over $780,000.
Yeah, let's find out who and get back to the felt.
There's a look at our updated leaderboard. Matt Perry still out in front at 9.3 million, chased by Goo Chen at 8.1. Greg and Gia both around 7 million, and Cliff Josephie, the short stack, 2.6.
And we go down to the money pit. Matt Perry, the chip leader from Rochester, New York originally. Former chess player, has a strong ace-queen of hearts.
And Matt has played great throughout this final table. He's really used his stack size well to apply pressure on his opponent's pre-flop. Now he has a premium hand, and Greg Weber in position here also has a premium king-jack suited.
He does call Cliff going out. Goo not interested, so ace-queen versus king-jack, here we go. And the flop is a queen 10-5, beautiful for Perry, but open-ended for Greg. And Matt's bet 475.
Greg open-ended, overcard, backdoor flush draw, not going anywhere, of course.
Firefighter makes the call. Going to the turn, can he get there? No, not there, deuce of clubs.
It's a nice card for Matt. It's very safe for him, but also adds here. Now his opponent can tell himself, well, there are more bluffs that my opponent can have in his range, and that allows Matt to get value more frequently with top pair, top kicker.
Yeah, well, he's going to make a pay. And the firefighter now involved with a big pot. He'll make this call and have to get lucky on the river. Let's take a look. And when he does so and the ace hits, he's hit his straight, beautifully done. And Matt has 2 pair now, aces and queens, and he's going to check.
That's an intriguing card because it completes the most obvious flop draw, King Jack, and it completes the backdoor flush draw. So Matt has checked over to Greg. I don't expect him to get away facing a bet, but I also know he won't be happy facing a bet, even though his hand is improved.
That's a 2.4 million bet by the firefighter.
And there you see Matt struggling with his trucker hat, knowing that something is very wrong here, despite the fact that he has rivered top 2 pair. The action clock will expire, so a time bank chip comes into play.
Should be a heck of a laydown. Wow, he's gonna do it!
Great fold. That's a disrespectful fold. I mean, Matt really telling Greg, I don't think you have enough bluffs here to make top 2 pair a call.
Good river.
Yeah.
And Greg tells him, like the last card, but you never know. Guy didn't show it. Makes you think. Wow, nicely played all around.
Well, however tonight finishes for Matt Perry, he is going to feel really good when he watches these episodes and sees him making these great plays.
Ooh, this hand with pair 7s has raised. And now Matt Perry with a strong ace-jack. He will make this call.
Sorry.
And I think part of the reason you see him opt to just call here instead of 3-bet, as he has done so many times, is now he is not the chip leader. Goo actually has more than him, could knock him out of this tournament if he were to 4-bet and they played a big pot.
Well, Greg Weber with an ace-10.
250.
He's got some money in there.
Yeah, Greg has a choice here between squeezing as a 3-bet, ace 10's a pretty good hand to do that with, or just calling, and he elects to call.
Here's the flop. It's a queen 9 deuce. Helps no one. Goo's still out in front with the 7s, but hard to know.
This is a good flop for Goo if you can see everyone's cards. If you can't, it's not really a good flop for him because there's 2 overcards to his 7 and a flush draw that he doesn't have, so...
Matt sees an opportunity of a couple checks, and he is going to bet it.
Nice hit.
Try to muscle these guys out. It's going to work with just ace high.
So he has lost his chip lead for the moment, but he is probably going to fight his way back there. Greg Weber and Goo Chen now essentially in a dual control of the lead.
The antes are gone up to 25,000. Blinds of 75, 150 at the Borgata Poker Open. 5 players remain. A couple folds. Gia out, and now Greg, the firefighter. He's got an attractive queen, jack of spades.
He's looking at Cliff's stack and realizes he only has about 13 blinds here.
Hold on.
Yeah, not surprised to see this.
He just wants to muscle Cliff out. Now let's take a look at Cliff's cards. We haven't seen them yet.
Play online. That's a yes.
All right.
Ace 3.
Call fill up.
Cliff gonna make the call, knows he's getting a good price, and you see there why it is so powerful to get all in pre-flop with Queen Jack suited. He's essentially coin flipping here, even though his opponent has an ace.
Hey. Married, has 3 sons. He's a family man that loves to take home the cash. And right now he's a favorite to double up, slight favorite.
It's the worst having everybody rooting against you. Don't even try and lie.
Please, the people are never rooting against Cliff Josephine.
See if Cliff gets lucky, or will it be Greg?
Oh, there's a jack. It is a great flop for Greg on King Jack 9. He has a pair with a gut shot. Cliff needs some kind of running straight, an ace, or running hearts.
Is another jack.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it.
That's actually a good card for Cliff because he's picked up the flush heart draw, so he has 8 outs going to the river to get the win here.
3 of spades. Cliff not going to do it. He is our 5th place finisher. Really well-liked, well-respected guy in the poker community. Going to have to wait a little bit longer on getting a first title.
Yeah, Cliff will take home $199,000, and he's over to talk to Matt Savage about his defeat.
Got the early double up, but
Yeah,
I mean, When you get in a situation like that, do you have more hope as to winning the title and the money? Or?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I was in much better shape when I won that. I was over 4 million chips, and I was in good shape. And then things just didn't go my way. I probably made a couple mistakes. I made a hero call against Gia, where I was wrong. I thought that he would bluff catch a lot of his value hands, and he had 2 jacks, which I never thought he had there. So that was a mistake. That hurt me a little bit, and just couldn't catch a heart on the end there. So.
Well, you moved up 1 spot from them.
Yeah,
so
right.
I mean, so that's something.
Okay.
It wasn't in the cards tonight for Cliff Josephine. Action continues from Borgata when we return.
Not the best turn card. The best turn card for TV.
Field of over 1,100 entrants has been narrowed down to 4. Greg Weber out in front, 12 million. Our short stack Gia Lu at 6 million still has 40 blinds.
All right, we go to the felt. Action's going to be on Matt Parry. He's got about 7 million. He's got a king 10. Grew up in Rochester, New York. Now living in Vegas. Living the dream. 26 years old. Makes a raise to 325. Gia with a little pair of 4s will make the call.
And after losing Cliff Josephine, I would say that Matt Perry is the most experienced player at this final table, and he looks like it tonight. So composed this evening.
Goo with ace 3 of hearts. He likes to also call some 3-way action. Going to the flop is a king, jack 4, 3 of a kind for Gia. What a flop, and Matt Perry hitting top pair.
This is bad news for Matt.
Goo checks. Matt makes the continuation bet, 525. And Gia with the set. Just calling. Goo folds. 5 on the turn.
1.25.
1,250,000 Matt bets.
I like that Gia has opted to slow play here. There's really no reason to raise the flop, and if you do, it looks incredibly strong, and you're basically saying you either have a huge hand or, queen 10 of spades.
And Gia just slow playing the set, makes the call, trapping beautifully. Deuce on the river, irrelevant card. Matt Perry, we keep betting or what?
1.35.
Oh wow, that's 1,350,000. Thinking he's making a value bet. Where's the sledgehammer going to come down? There you go, all in.
It's hard for Matt to get called by a jack or a worse king, but oh man, this is tough.
Red alert, red alert.
Matt is betting on all 3 streets here. You can see on his face the moment Gia announced all in, he felt nauseous.
Matt now facing a very difficult decision on this river. What he's thinking about is that it's difficult for his opponent to be bluffing, because that means he would have called twice on a draw and then ripped it in on a bluff on the river, which can happen, but is a very rare play from most opponents.
Time clock down to 4 seconds. And what's more time?
It's also really hard for Gia to have a strong hand here, because if he had king jack, he would likely raise either the flop or turn. If he had pocket jacks or kings, he would probably re-raise pre-flop.
God, rough here. So sick.
You can see the action clock ticking away as he's contemplating his decision.
Now he's going to take another time chip.
Matt has used quite a number of those during this final table, and now facing one of his most difficult decisions so far.
Ace 3 spades. Wow.
Can he lay this hand down? Yes, he's going to do it. Very nicely done. Saves the last bunch of money. And that is a big pot for Gia. Flopping a set.
What a disgusting decision for Matt to have to make. Used up most of his time bank chips right there.
At least he's making good laydowns, but the card's just not going his way as we move on.
The deck is not cooperating with Matt Perry this evening. He's doing his best to stay in this tournament.
We hear Greg Weber at 9-7 of spades, going to make it 325. Goo just going back over the top to 800. Matt with 10s.
It's all in time for Matt. And when it comes back to Goo, I don't know what to expect. I mean, he's getting a good price, but he only has a 6 suited, so I really don't know how he wants to approach these situations. He's gonna call, okay. Goo says, I'm here to gamble. I've got a suited ace, let's play.
Matt Perry going off the rails here. Getting the hands, but they're not working out. This time out in front. Nice favorite with the 10s against Goo. But crazy things happen. And if Goo should get lucky, Matt would be out of here. 5 cards to come. The money's all in. Here it is. Flop is a 4-3 deuce.
It's good. Polka out.
Yeah, that's a good but not great flop for Matt because he still needs to dodge an ace or a 5. So his opponent has 7 outs twice.
4 pairs the board.
Nice ace.
Don't give me that.
Come on, one time.
Still trying to dodge the same 7 outs, going to the river.
Not to be as a jack hits on the river. So Matt is going to double up.
That's a huge double up from Matt Perry. He came in as a chip leader, almost was eliminated right there. We have 4 players remaining at the Borgata Poker Open. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
This episode is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official soft drink of the World Poker Tour. Hublot, the official watch of the World Poker Tour. And Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of the World Poker Tour.
My name is Maria Krebs. I'm in Atlantic City because I was chosen from a story that I wrote about my father in the Why I Love Poker contest. I won a main event ticket to the Borgata Open, and I won some free gold coins on Play WPT, which I love. When I was little, my dad worked all the time, and on the weekends he would play cards, and I never understood why. When I was older, friends of mine said, do you want to play poker? I'm like, well, do I ever have to be a blind? I don't want to be a blind at first. I was bit from the very first hand, and it came to me immediately, my father's passion for poker. The one thing I learned with Alzheimer's and my father is I would just talk, and I could never reach him. When I talked about poker, my father lit up, so it made me realize that was his true love. I love everything about poker, the ups, the downs. I know after losing, you think, why do I love poker? I still love it today as much as I did yesterday. I love Play WPT because it's low risk, high reward. I get to enjoy myself and play poker, which is a poker player's dream.
Maria had a great time here at Borgata and really loves Play WPT. Check it out for yourself. Get started on playwpt.com on your computer or download the app today.
We are back here at the Borgata Poker Open where 4 players remain. Greg Weber, the firefighter, out in front with 12.5 million in chips. Jialu in second with 9.5. Matt Perry, 7.3. And Gu Lin Chen, the Chinese restaurant owner in Jersey, has about 4.4. Actions on Gu. And he's going to fold this one.
I like his hand selection so far at this final table. A lot of recreational players either play way too many or way too few hands. Gu has been right on the money so far tonight. Matt opening up King 6 here on the button, and Gia making another one of those surprising and kind of confusing calls from the small blind with a premium hand. I mean, Ace Queen suited is an awesome hand, and you're facing an aggressive opponent, so you should want to get more money in the pot here. I don't really understand the call.
It's an unorthodox move, and it doesn't always work, but this time it's really not going to work, as a 10-10 jack hits, making Greg 3 of a kind.
And if I didn't like the pre-flop action, I like this flop action even less. This is just not a good flop to be leading out on. It's pretty easy for your opponents to connect and not fold. And Greg, of course, with trips, not going anywhere.
Matt gets out of the way. 9 on the turn. So, oh yeah, he's got the memo.
Yeah, that's a good card for Gia, but also not one he should expect to get many folds from Greg on. So you see him check over there, and now it's just going to be a question of pot odds once Greg bets.
Yeah, Greg's going to bet a hefty 850. And now Gia's open-ended, but no, he's no moss. He's going out.
One of those hands where he sort of put money in all the wrong ways.
He would be one tough guy to play at the fire station, wouldn't he? They're waiting all the time for a fire to happen. He's playing a little poker. Let's play some poker.
Oh, guys, I got a deck right here. I know, we got some hours to kill.
That's right. I got some chips. I'm buying the beer. Want a ringer at the fire station.
No care, huh? I'm not going to scare you. Skip that.
You hear the fire bell go off, you just go, wow, no! Breaks up the game. Not that fire thing again.
Greg might be able to retire from his firefighting days if he takes down this one. There's almost $800,000 up top, so.
Goo has raised, and around the horn, Gia picking up tens again. And he's gonna shove it all in.
This time, Gia absolutely knows how to play pocket tens. Goo is our short stack, 20-something blinds on the button, raises it up, and Gia just rips it in his face. Goo is too shallow to call a hand like ace-3. There you go.
He's got to lay that down. Gia being the gentleman shows the hand.
No, not at all. He showed me sixes, I gotta show him.
Yeah, ace side.
Ace side no good.
Greg Weber continues to pad his chip lead above 14 million now.
The blinds are still 75-150 with a 25,000 ante. Here in Atlantic City with a beautiful Borgata Poker Open. Action goes to Matt Perry. He's got a pair of sevens. And he will up it to 325. Gia folds it. Greg with the uneventful 10-7. He's not going to play, so Goo now with a 9-10. Will compete.
Yeah, that's a nice big blind hand, and he has outflopped Matt here. So middle pair for Goo, and an under pair to the king and 10 for Matt.
Goo checks to him. Matt's gonna slow down and check two. Going to the turn. It's another king.
That's a good card for both players because now their hand strength has improved, and it's made it much less likely that their opponent has the king. Goo will check over to Matt one more time, and you see Matt here sizing up a bet, trying to get some value from Goo. He very reasonably believes that he has the best hand. Now, I will say there's not a lot that Goo can call with on this turn besides a king or a 10, maybe an awkward deuce somehow from the big blind.
A sixer on the river doesn't help Matt when he checks it.
So Matt has a good hand here, but I question whether he can really be called by worse. This may be too thin.
Well, he's gonna bet it.
And you see Goo just snaps the 10, and Matt already feeling a little bit dirty about making that river bet, likely realizing it was a little too thin in the end.
Matt Perry perhaps misstepping there, but Goo on a nice roll right now as 4 players remain at the Borgata Poker Open.
First time I did that was the tournament.
You've been right on pretty much every other time.
As soon as I was throwing it, I saw his hand, he was like...
You know, Club WPT VIP members not only enjoy unlimited poker, they also get access to hundreds of hours of great content, including past episodes of the World Poker Tour.
Take your game to the next level. Watch and play at clubwpt.com.
Well, we have had the pleasure of spending the entire week here at Borgata, and it's easily one of the best resorts on the East Coast.
No kidding, Ben. It's first-class gaming, a great poker room with awesome action, and the restaurants, bars, and nightclubs here are fantastic.
No, they really are. Borgata is the best. They have it all. And having all the chips is the goal for our remaining final table players, so let's check the chip count and see where everyone stands.
Greg Weber, 14.8 million is your chip leader. Gia Liu at 8.8, Matt Perry 5.6, and Goo Chen just beneath 5 million as we play 75K, 150K.
Action on Goo. He is going to peak down at an A6. And he's going to raise. 325 to go. Matt Perry not interested. Gia also folding. And the only one to beat is Greg. He's got some money in there with the 7-5. So he will make the call and see 3 cards. Flop is a 7-6 deuce, so Greg is out flop Goo.
Great flop for Greg. Not only does he have top pair, but his opponent has the nut second pair.
And Goo is going to continue his larceny. Makes the continuation bet of 325. Greg's not going anywhere, makes the call. Wow, an ace on the turn. Goo hitting aces.
Not only is that an awesome card for Goo because he improves to 2 pair, but it's the card he's most likely to double barrel as a bluff. So this is going to be really difficult for Greg to fold here against that bet.
He is going to pay him off there on the turn. Go into the river. Can Greg get out of this? No, 8 of spades on the river. Greg is checked.
About 3 million in the pot, which is roughly what Goo has behind here. So I'm not sure if he'll just all in or size it down a little bit, but he's gonna think this one over before taking his action, and perhaps he's trying to inspire some doubt in his opponent about whether he is bluffing or value betting.
The clock is ticking down, and he's gonna take more time. I think he's trying to disguise the strength of it. 2.1 million.
Yeah, if this is by design, it's some beautiful acting by Goo because he does look genuinely uncertain about what he's supposed to do. And now Greg is faced with an awkward decision.
Time's ticking down for him now too. He's down to 2 seconds. It's gonna take more time.
Is that King Queen again?
It's unfortunate for Greg that Goo has not really run a lot of multi-street bluffs.
Is that Ace King that big? No. Aces. 2.1.
And it would be a major mistake. I mean, you got to give him some credit for something. He never stopped betting.
And Goo can have any of the aces and still be value betting here, so it seems awful thin to make this call.
Taking more time.
He's a really big hero. I look like an idiot.
Oh,
don't do it, Greg,
don't
no!
do it. No!
And the firefighter getting a little smoke inhalation from that one. And Goo, beautifully done.
Man, that's a pass out, Greg.
Great move by Goo right there.
Hats off.
Guy's in his first WPT tournament ever, and he makes that kind of move.
Yeah, very nice hand from Goo there. Nothing fancy, but got maximum value, whether that was a result of his posturing on the river or the image he has at this table. Goo all of a sudden really in contention for this title. Okay, Gia now with the button is going to raise up 6-3 suited. Greg, looks like he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit in that last hand. He's got Queen 10 suited here in the small. And he'll make the call. I wonder if Greg's mental composure will maintain. Now, it can be tough to keep your mental fortitude when something major goes wrong like that, especially when you know you made the wrong play.
Flop is a 10-7-6. So Greg out in front with the 10s. Gia catching 6s.
Both players check. The turn pairs the board with the 7.
Now Greg with 10s and 7s is going to bet 425. And Gia will make a call. Doesn't believe Greg. And a 10 on the river, giving a full house to Greg Weber.
Oh, that counterfeit Gia's 6s. So this should be an easy fold for him on the river.
Here comes Greg with a bet of 1.3 million.
Uh-oh, he's looking at his chips.
3.5 million.
Oh no, yeah, that's not gonna work.
A quick call by Greg.
Amazing.
Wow.
And he will take the hand down. You know, it's just one of those hands. You think your guy isn't that strong, you could take it away from him. At that time, backfires for Giolu.
It's time to really talk poker. Phil Hellmuth is ready to unleash his thoughts in tonight's Raw Deal. Welcome back to WPT's coverage of the Borgata Poker Open. So how does tonight's play stand up to the standards of poker legend Phil Hellmuth? Time to find out in this edition of the Raw Deal.
So, our big-time ship leader, firefighter Greg Weber, decided to make a hero call and lost a big pot. On the surface, you may think he got burned, but I think there's an upside for him with this hand. The pre-flop call was 7-5. Not horrible. One modern school of thought, which I subscribe to, is it's okay to defend in the big blind with lots of hands. However, when you have a big chip lead with 4 players left in the tourney, you need to protect those chips. Let everyone else play a wide range of garbage and let your opponents take the big swings, up and down, and bust themselves. You protect, protect, protect. Hold the 7-5. First place was almost $790,000 versus $240,000 for fourth. And oh, by the way, he pretty much had second place locked up. That's $470,000, almost double fourth place. And the only way he finishes fourth is by playing too many hands. Eventually, our firefighter friend says,
he's a big hero. I'm like an idiot.
I say he's both a hero firefighter who did look like an idiot with this call. One big silver lining to this call is this. Once he made that call, no one was going to try to bluff him again. And that would truly help him the rest of the day. Listen.
Greg certainly made a misstep in that pot, but he won his chips right back against Giolu. That full house against Gia's bluff, now down to 4.4 million, and that brings Greg up to 15.7, currently running away with this final table.
Non-professional, once again in the lead on the World Poker Tour, going after the big bucks. Very exciting. But let's go to Giolu. Smiles as he mucks a bad hand. And now Greg, our chip leader, with the king deuce of hearts.
Raising it up here to 3 1/4. Goo is out. And Matt with 8-3 of spades here in the big blind. Now, you heard Phil Hellmuth talk about a lot of players these days defend their big blind with almost anything. Matt is definitely of that type of thinking. However, he will also balance his 3-bets from the big blind by using some very weak suited hands, and he's clearly selected 8-3 suited as one of them. So he uses that as a bluff and forces Greg on the button to fold his king deuce suited. So nice hand.
There's Matt's parents. Matt's only 26 years old. Lives in Vegas. He was a former chess protege.
A lot of former chess proteges converted to poker over the years. One of my best friends in poker is Dan Smith, and he was a chess protege in his teens. WPT champion now from our event at the Bellagio. At 100, 200,000 blinds, Goo has a jack-9 of spades, and he's going to make it 425,000 over to Matt. Matt is reaching for raising chips. Now, Vince, I've talked about how much I've liked Matt's strategy of 3-betting frequently pre-flop. This is the first time at the final table I really don't like it. He has picked a complete garbage hand to do it with, and he really doesn't need to use hands this bad on the button. And he's done it against Goo, who has been kind of sticky so far.
Well, he's always got jack high. Doesn't have to make this call.
And most players in Goo's position prefer to call. Sometimes people fold or 4-bet. Often we see a call, and that's what Goo elects to do here. So we'll go to a flop.
10-7 versus jack-9. The flop is a queen, queen 3. But 2 of them are spades, so a great flop for Goo.
Not a bad flop for Matt if he wants to try and bluff his opponent, but we know that Goo has spades here.
wise enough to slow down. There's another spade, so there you go.
Now what, Goo? Oh, I love this check from Goo. I love it.
You gotta dig the hole, put the twigs and the branches over it, wait for the sucker to fall in.
Trap set.
Boom. 950. He has bet.
Good morning.
There you go. All in, and Matt sees the light, folds his hand. Goo looking good.
Sunblast Assassin just takes it down.
Who is this guy?
I don't know what to tell you, Vince, but he is running away with this final table.
That's all we have time for from Borgata Hotel, Casino and Spa in Atlantic City. Join us next time when we will crown the champion of the season 16 Borgata Poker Open. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the WPT.
The World Poker Tour is sponsored by Club WPT. Play poker for real cash and prizes today at clubwpt.com.
I cannot believe these guys got my shot. I've got this. I prepared to play today. One time.
You never know when your time is going to come. To rise above the rest. To seize the opportunity. To be crowned a champion. Is it time for your story to be told?
Recompose himself and make a run at this title.
Besides playing poker, you have the nightlife, you have these bars you can just hang out.
Prizes every month, including seats to live WPT events, real cash prizes,
4.
He's
mistake by Greg pushing his man out. Nevertheless, Greg takes the hand down with his quads.
Eric was aggravated.
Oh, show me once. Just go over there. Just stay away from me. I'm telling you, this guy's like a bug that doesn't want to leave. Man, the guy thinks he's going to win the tournament today.
Bradley Ellis shoved ace-9 from the small blind and was called by David Peters ace-10. After a board full of blanks, David's 10 kicker played, leaving Bradley out on the TV bubble. When the dust settled, 3 Canadians and 3 Americans remained, all with a single purpose: taking home the season 16 WPT Montreal title. Battle ahead, let's check in with Vince Van.
Have here tonight an upset in the making. Pat Quinn is the chip leader. Now, Pat is a non-professional player out of Toronto. How exciting would that be, Tony?
That would be very exciting, Vince, but he's going to have to get past Pat. Max, his top score. $3 million in chips, and although he might not have the biggest stack here tonight,
he's only been playing poker 12 years. He's taken down 18 million in money, so that's tremendous. And then Eric Afriat, we've seen him 4 times on the World Poker Tour final tables. He's a WPT champion. He is tough as well. Going to be a great stacked final table here tonight. I can't wait for it to get started.
All right, thanks, guys. And earlier, we had a pre-game chat with chip leader Patrick Quinn.
I'm feeling confident. I'm going to try and play today as I played yesterday, slow and strong.
Action is nearly ready to start up. Now, along with some serious Canadian coin and the unique Champions Belt, tonight's winner will forever be honoured on the WPT Champions Cup. Plus, he'll take home a Hublot Big Bang steel watch to commemorate his victory. So there's a ton of rewards in store for our lone survivor.
All right, the players are excited. They are ready. The cards are in the air. Let's go watch them gamble.
There's a look at your leaderboard going into the final table. Vince, Pat Quinn out in front, followed by Maxime Heroux and David Peters. And our next 3 players all just a little below 1 million, hanging around the 15 big blind mark.
Yep, the antes are 10,000. Blinds are 30 and 60. First to act is Eric Afriat, now looking down at an interesting ace-8 of hearts. He likes it. It's going to make it 130 total.
That's an interesting pink-on-pink ensemble.
And Maxime doesn't like his hand. He will go away. Derek Walters with a little suited connector, not even thinking about it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that, but a lot of players, especially early in a final table when many people are short-stacked, are very careful about getting involved in pots. And you see why. Brendan here has about 15 blinds.
He's got ace-jack of diamonds. Is this that time?
On.
Boom. Brendan's going to go all in.
And that's part of the reason you're a little stuck with hands like 10-9 suited facing a raise. You know a lot of the guys behind you might go all in over the top, as Brendan has here.
Back on Afriat. Now, we've seen Eric numerous times at the World Poker Tour final table, actually 4 times. He is a tough player, but he's going to go away.
Suited.
And Brendan Bach's going to take that one down.
Good fold.
Vince, I'm not a big fan of showing hands when you're at a table full of professionals.
Well, Eric shows it, trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. Right now, he's Mr. Nice Guy, but we know if things turn and he gets some bad beats, he turns into Mr. Bad Guy.
Yeah, that's right. Jekyll and Hyde with Eric Afriat.
All right, we move on. Action's going to Derek Walters. He's going to fold it.
60.
Brendan Bach, an American, 29 years old, works in the oil business, Tony.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Brendan. I wonder if he came up here just for this event, as he's a California guy.
All right, around the horn, a lot of folds. David Peters with the little suited connector. This man is some player.
David has been on an incredible tear at live poker the last few years. He was somebody that I was battling against online 10 and 12 years ago, and he has transitioned so well to the live arena.
Now, Maxime, he's got Queen Jack. He's already got some money in there. This guy lives 5 minutes away from Playground Poker. This site right here loves to play here all the time.
So that's why I always see him here.
Yeah, and he's calling. And the flop is an ace-king-9, so nothing for Dave Peters. Not much there for Maxime either. He's going to check it.
Yeah, nothing for David Peters here, but he's still going to continuation bet and just hope that Maxime hasn't caught enough to continue.
Yeah, that's 120.
And Maxime has a little piece here. He has a gut shot straight draw, and he has a backdoor flush draw with that jack of clubs. So he is going to continue, and I would assume if David checks back on the turn, Maxime intends to bluff the river, but now he has a pair.
That's right, Maxime hitting jacks. Nothing to be too proud of. He's going to check it. And let's see what Peters does.
Well, David has a nothing hand here. No pair, no draw, so he absolutely cannot win at Showdown.
450.
He's got guts. That's what he's got. He's betting 450 with nothing but 6 high.
David clearly believes that Maxime is calling very wide on the flop. I'm a little surprised to see him bet this turn. But Maxime...
It gets very expensive. Peters just keeps pushing. He could have an ace, he could have a king very easily, and that's going to do it. So David Peters putting the pressure on his victim, taking down that pot. We're coming back with more action from WPT Montreal in just a moment. Stay with us. This episode is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official soft drink of the World Poker Tour. Hublot, the official watch of the World Poker Tour. And Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of the World Poker Tour.
Eric is probably going to show up with a pretty strong hand, but at the same time, I also expect him to be capable of making a move if necessary.
Derek is not going to be making many mistakes. Solid player, knows what he's doing.
Patrick Quinn.
I like Patrick. I like his quality of play. I like the way he becomes aggressive.
Brendan Batch.
Brendan, yeah, he's been playing well. He's picking his spots selectively. Maybe if he gets some chips, that might change.
David Peters.
David Peters is a great player. He's been around for a long time. Have a lot of respect for his game.
Maxime Debut.
Oh, Maxime, he uses his chips to his advantage. He puts a ton of pressure on people. He's one of the players to watch out for sure.
Well, Tony, we always make the bets. We've been doing that all season long. We have a little action going on. Well, here's the bet this week. You can have Patrick, Eric, Derek, and Brendan on one side.
Right.
Okay, or you can take Maxime and David Peters.
So you split it up by chips this time around instead of just players.
Yeah, 50-50 coin toss. What are you going to take, Tony?
You know what? I said at the top of the show, David Peters is the man to beat tonight. I still believe that to be true, so I'm sticking with him, even though that's just 2 guys that I get.
All right, you got the 2 guys, I have the 4. We'll see what happens.
Good luck, sir.
Yeah, Tony, the blinds are up to 40 and 80, and as you can see, Patrick Quinn out in front with 6.6, Maxime Aru 5.1, David Peters 3.6. Very exciting event. 6 players battling for this championship. Action going to Eric Afriette. A quick fold by him. And Maxime with a nothing hand. Can't compete. Now Derek Walters with a king 9. Also won't play.
Over to Brendan here on the button. And he's very short. So you see him considering this, but Queen 3 offsuit is a really bad hand, so he'll relinquish it.
Faked this out there. Looked like he was going to push. Now the pub man, Patrick Quinn, with a miserable looking 8 deuce.
Speaking of bad hands.
However, you know, sometimes you just get sucked in. You see that money on the table, say maybe I can steal it with a raise. That's what he's going to try to do. He makes it 240 to go.
I would like his raise more if David was one of the short stacks and he was forced into a push or fold decision here, but instead David has enough chips to just call him and take a flop in position. So Patrick building a pot in a situation where that's not what he really wants to happen.
Well, David has a pair of 4s, so he's not going anywhere. We're going to see a flop. Oh man, 3 of a kind just like that with an 8 deuce.
Boom, no problem.
Pub man looking good. There's no slowing down. He doesn't care that he's huge. He's not going to try to trap. He's coming out with a stiff bet, it looks like.
Looks like a very large bet here. He's firing out about 80 to 90% pot here on a texture that most players only bet a quarter or 1/3 pot. So I wonder, in the lead up to this final table, whether David Peters was able to learn about Patrick's bet size tendencies.
And a 7, not going to change anything. Let's see if the pub man changes his strategy. No, he's getting more chips out. Looking like you're strong usually means you're weak, and that's what he's trying to push out there. He's betting over $1 million with a huge hand.
And this is a pretty good board for David's 4s, but he also finds it unlikely that Pat in his first major final table, is running some crazy wild bluff against the best player at the table, so you see David get away there.
Oh, wow, he gets to escape. Maybe too much pressure by the pub man, but there's his family and friends on the rail. Rooting Pat Quinn on as he extends the chip lead to over 7.3 million.
Yeah, they have a lot to cheer for in the early goings of this final table. It has been the Patrick Quinn show so far.
And we move on to Derek Walters. He's 28 years old, and he's going to quickly fold a queen jack of diamonds.
Yeah, that's a surprising fold, and I think it's because there are two other players who are shorter than him around this table. He's in 4th position, but only has about 13-ish blinds, whereas there are two guys around 10 blinds or less. So you see him being really risk-averse here in an attempt to move up the pay ladder.
All right. Everyone folding around to Peters. And with just an 8-7, sees an opportunity. He makes it 180 to go.
One of those short stacks is Eric Afriat, who has aces.
Wow. Great time to pick him up. He's going to push all his money in.
And he only has 8 blinds here, so I don't know that David can fold.
No shame in folding. Right, guys? There's no shame in folding. You just fold. Keep the karma going. Boom, the Rockets.
And he does get the call.
David doesn't show much at the table, but there was a little smirk there that told me a lot.
Eric Afriat looking good with the pair of aces.
Show me some pictures. Pictures.
And the flops are 5, 6, 3.
And Eric's face just sunk on that flop. David now with an open-ended straight draw.
Peters, I know you're a luck box, but come on, not the first time. Come on, keep the picture. Picture.
10 on the turn. Peters doesn't get there. Eric's still out in front with the aces.
It feels like it's coming.
David Peters thinking he's going to get lucky on the river. Will he? No, it's a 3 on the river. The pair of aces are going to take this down. The clothing man, Eric Afriat, WPT champion, doubling up. 6 players remain here at the Playground Poker Club, and we're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
I had to look at him 4 times just to be sure.
What are you doing?
I'm playing on clubwpt.com.
Oh, really? I'm playing on clubwpt.com.
Oh, I'm not playing on clubwpt.com. I'm crushing it. Play for a share of $100,000 in cash and prizes every month at clubwpt.com.
Playground is an amazing poker room. It's so clean, so well run. The dealers have been great.
I come here maybe once or twice a year. They look after you royally here.
They have the best dealers and floor staff and wait staff that I've ever seen at a casino.
One of the best poker rooms I've ever been in. Everything's really clean, the service is great.
You're always attentive to what the poker players want. Every detail is calculated in this place. To win here would be just be amazing.
All right, there is a updated look at your leaderboard. Pat Quinn still out in front, followed by Maxime Marut. David Peters slipping a little bit. Our next 3 players are chipping up.
Winner going to take 403,000 Canadian money. And a big title at stake, 6 players remaining. Let's go to the felt. It's on Eric Afriat from Canada, a businessman, tremendous poker player, and he's going to fold it. Maxime Marut also going away. And now Derek Walters finally getting a quality hand, pair of jacks.
Derek has been very tight in the early goings, seeing whether one of his opponents that's very short gets eliminated before him, but not going to pass up an opportunity to play pocket jacks.
Yeah, makes it 170 to go. Brendan not going to play it. There's the chip leader, the pub man, Patrick Quinn. And he's also out of here, but Dave Peters with a nice King 10 in the big blind. He will definitely compete. Makes this call. So Jack's up against King 10. And here we go with the flop. It's a 10-8-5. So Peters hitting the 10s.
Gin flop for Derek. Awful flop for David. And Derek is so short here that it seems very likely that the money goes in on the flop.
This is Derek's second final table. He's betting 180, and Peters might think he's got him well covered.
All in.
Yeah, that's the time to do it. He's going to push him all in. Derek looks back down at the overpair. And of course he makes this call.
I like that Derek rechecked his hand. Because I have seen people misread their hands and then accidentally play this huge pot, turn over their cards, and be horrified.
That's true. That's true. But you have to be over 90 to do that. 7 on the turn.
That's a nice turn for Derek. David looking for a king or a 10 on the river. Otherwise, he's going to double up. Yeah, he's going to double up Derek here.
Queen on the river.
Everything going wrong for David Peters early at this final table.
I would definitely consider myself a risk taker. Probably too much of a risk taker at times. I've gone through so many ups and downs in poker. There are so many swings. And eventually you get used to it. There's so much room for improvement in poker. You're never going to be 100% perfect poker player. It's never going to happen. I try to bring my A game and stay competitive at the highest level. I've always wanted a WPT title. It would be amazing. I came close a couple times, but it didn't work out.
Queen of clubs, David Peters, will have to say goodnight.
I've always wanted to win a massive belt. I don't think my chances of doing that in professional wrestling are very good anymore, so this is my only shot.
Well, David has a great attitude. You know, he says poker is the only job he's ever had. He dropped out of college to play poker online, and he's proven that he's one of the greats on the tour.
Yeah, I can remember playing him well over 10 years ago online, and he was a crusher back then.
All right, back down to the felt we go. Blinds are 40 and 80. Eric Alfriat looks down first at his hand, and he will reject that. Now Maxime Heroux. This is his third WPT cash. Total earnings, total of 44,000, so not that successful out here so far on the circuit.
Yeah, Maxime is mostly a cash game player. He loves PLO. But we do see him in the Montreal WPTs. I think I've played against him at Borgata as well.
Well, he's raised this with his ace-queen to 185, and now it's into Brendan, who always takes his time, even when he has a nothing hand. Finally folding into the pub man, who won't play that junk. But Peters has a decent hand, queen-jack.
So far, pretty much every flop has gone against David here. I half expect to see like a queen-queen-deuce flop the way his final table is going for him, but he's going to make this call, of course. Take a flop heads up against Maxime.
So queen-jack up against ace-queen. And here we go with the flop of king-king-9.
Well, not much for either player, but David does have a gut shot to the 10, but Maxime still in the lead here with his ace high. He's going to bet 150.
Yeah, Dave Peters with just queen high here. Open to hit a 10 will stick around to see the turn. Maxime with ace high hits his aces. David checks.
Yeah, that should end this hand. David pretty short at this stage. Still only with a gut shot. And the turn, of course, likely to improve his opponent. Maxime bets out 230,000. I will say, that's a very small bet. So David's getting a great price here, but he doesn't have many outs. I expect him to go away now, but he's reaching for chips. Wow. Huh.
He is going to float and try to hit something. He is making the call, going in deeper, but nothing hitting on the river. Deuce of hearts. And Peters throwing up the white flag, checks it.
All in.
Maxime says all in. I'm going to put you all in. Dave Peters should be all out quickly, but he's like in shock. He just can't make anything happen. So you almost want to say, do I get desperate? Do I want to be a hero? That would be a really...
Yeah, to make this call, you have to think that Maxime is just running a crazy jack high, 10 high bluff.
Don't be a hero here.
Yeah.
Save a dog instead. Don't do it to yourself, David. And finally, he gets the memo.
So Maxime takes many of David Peters' remaining chips. He came in third in chips and is now clearly our short stack. Let's see if the seasoned professional can find a little magic here. Think you have what it takes to play with the pros? Club WPT VIP Daniel Biddle won his way to play in the big leagues from playing on Club WPT.
I won a seat to a main event playing on Club WPT.
Hey, Dan, Vince Van Patten, and Tony Dunce.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Got to meet Vince and Tony earlier, and they gave me a few poker tips.
It is a marathon and not a sprint, so don't try and force anything early. Be patient, get some reads on the players around your table, and then enjoy, have fun.
It was great meeting them after watching them for so long on TV.
Do you have any bluff in you? Or are you like Tony that just plays the nuts?
Both.
Good.
Both.
Good.
Don't give my moves away. Playground poker has been great. It's a great event. Met a lot of great people. Ready to win another one and do it again.
Yeah, sign up today for a shot at winning a seat to a live main tour event, just like Daniel. Multiple tournaments all day, every day on clubwpt.com.
All right, here's a look at our updated chip counts. Pat Quinn still well out in front, followed by Maxime Roux moving up. Derek Walters approaching 2 million, and our next three players all pretty short, with David Peters well below 10 blinds.
I probably would have busted though.
Blinds are still 40 and 80.
I was getting tired.
And it's on Patrick. He looks down to 6-5. Pubman doesn't like that. We'll fold it. And now David Peters finally getting a big hand. Pair of aces. But he's hugely short stacked, and all those chips are going in. Let's see if he gets action.
David today showing that no matter how well you play, if the deck decides you're not going to win, you're not going to win. But this hand, he might start running it up again.
Well, no one's called him. He'd like to get action with aces, and now Brendan has Queen Jack.
This is a close decision for Brendan. He's also fairly short, but this is only a 8-ish blind shove.
Not gonna do it.
Gets away.
So David Peters finally getting a hand, but doesn't get the action he wanted.
Now David has barely won any pots at this final table so far. Still looking for his first WPT title. He has titles from circuits and tournaments all over the world, but still searching for that first WPT title. Feels like it's only a matter of time.
What a competitor. Okay, a couple folds around to Maxime, also folding. And Derek Walters now with a Queen 4.
170.
Everybody folding before him has induced him to make a raise with the button. He's going to make it 170.
Derek has been playing very tight. He is attacking the blinds of the short stack in the small blind and the big stack in the big blind. And Pat here with the King Jack. I'm not sure how he'll play this. A lot of people would just go all in. I don't know if that's Pat's style.
Walters has played very tight so far tonight.
I'm all in.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to slow down Patrick. He's going to push the guy in.
Oh, I love this. Really well played by Pat.
Turns him into an imposter. Going to lay it down. Pubman looking good right there.
Bully, huh?
There's the Pubman's friends in the audience.
You can tell he had a tough past night. You can tell he worked hard in his life. You can tell, man.
Yeah, in my bars.
Do you want to flip coins or play cards?
Vince, real poker players are sick of the all-in fest on those other social poker sites. So they're switching to playwpt.com. No more waiting for pocket aces and praying for them to hold up. That's not poker.
Find free poker anytime, anywhere. Playwpt.com.
Well, here's a look at our updated chip counts. Pat Quinn and Maxime Roux running away with this final table. Our next four players all below 20 big blinds, including Eric and David below 10 big blinds.
Yeah, the Annies are now up to 15,000 blinds, 50 and 100. Action to the Pubman, Patrick Quinn. Non-professional out in front. He's got ace-jack.
Playing very well at his first WPT final table. Making a big raise here, though, 350,000.
Dave Peters out. Afriat gonna look down at a, whoa, he's got a pair of 10s.
I'm all in.
Eric is quite short, so it is go time for
Yeah.
his last 9 blinds with pocket 10s.
Big hand for Eric. Everyone folding around to Brendan. And he has a nothing hand. Always takes his time. Finally figures it out, goes out and back on Patrick.
Nickel.
He is going to call it, so we're going to have a showdown. WPT champion Eric Afriat. Tournament life on the line.
Eric's a little nervous here, recognizing that he's in a coin flip, but what we know is that 2 jacks and 1 ace have been folded.
Keep him small. You don't need those chips, really.
And the flop is a queen 9-6, good for the 10s.
It's good.
Eric.
3 of hearts.
Enjoying that moment. Pub man disappointed. Going to the turn. And let's take a look. No. 4 diamonds. WPC champion Eric in good shape.
Look how relaxed you are. I have so many you don't even care.
Down to the river card.
8 of clubs.
Just nothing crazy, he's thinking. Will this be the last card? No, he's going to double up there with the 7 of spades hits.
Yeah, my way. We're doing it
His
my
buddies
way.
from
My
Montreal
way.
going crazy.
To win in 1 title is already very hard because I see all these incredible poker pros that never won a title.
It's over! What a story for Eric Afriat.
And to have 2 of them, it brings me to a different level. One time you say, okay, it might be a fluke. But second time, it's not a fluke anymore. You have to know the game. I think every poker player has this wild side to them.
I'm serious. You gotta put your balls on the table sometimes.
You gotta control it.
Just please, just go over there.
I learned how to control it a little more. The game has evolved. Today, every player you sit on the table is a good poker player. I would love a second title. Today, something magical might come along.
Well, he has a wild side. That is that he wears pink. You know, he used to be a clothing manufacturer. He looks sharp here tonight, of course.
And he looks sharp every time he plays. As we saw in the lead-up, he was always suited up at the table.
You always wear a suit, but you wouldn't wear pink.
I wouldn't wear pink, but I like that he does.
Yeah, Bond doesn't wear pink, does he?
Never seen Bond in pink.
Okay, we move on. Maxime in first position here with ace deuce of spades is going to raise to 225. Around to Brendan, who is going to squeeze uneventful 9-10. Goes out into the pub man Patrick with a king jack.
Pat with the button here is going to make this call, and this is our 2 chip leaders getting engaged. And Eric Afriat going to join the party with 9-8 suited in the big blind.
We're going to see the flop for the first time here tonight with 3 players. Who will get lucky? The flop is an ace, deuce, 6, 2 hearts, and 2 pair for Maxime.
Awesome flop for Maxime and a flush draw for Eric here. Pat is the one that will probably get out of the way. Very surprised that Max checked here. Not a big fan of that when you're up against 2 players.
Wow, they all check 7 on the turn. No heart there. So now open-ended and a flush draw for Eric Afriat.
Yeah, wow.
But it's going to check it nevertheless. Here goes Maxime. Coming out of the woodwork. And he puts slowly a bet in of 550.
Now, Pat doesn't have much to work with here. He's going to get out of the way. Eric has a decision between calling and shoving. He really has a massive draw here. You see he's 33% to win with just 1 card remaining. And he does make the call. So let's see if he can catch.
Yep. And he does not. A 7 on the river pairs the board.
Yeah, and that will also slow Maxime down. His aces and deuces have now become aces and 7s with a 6.
The clothing man's going to check his nothing hand. Didn't get there. Maxime also checking.
Look what I have.
And Maxime going to take this one.
Look what I have. I can't hit a card against the guy.
He's got Eric Afriat talking to himself.
I was gonna shove the turn, but he's got to be sitting on 200 and something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I shove it's over. Maxime. I can't hit a card against straight draw, flush draws.
We are back in Montreal for the Playground Poker Club, WPT Montreal. 6 players remain, and as you can see, Maxime Maroux out in front with 7.3 million in chips.
Max and Pat kind of running away with this right now. Meanwhile, David Peters, who we said was the man to beat at the top of this final table, is down to just 3 blinds.
All right, going to the felt. Man from Arizona, Derek Walters, goes out. Brendan Bach, the oil man from Orange County, California, splits the cards. He's got ace-4. And he fakes us out again, goes out. Pubman also folding. And now Peters with Dolly Parton in hand, 9-5. He's got to push all in with it.
When you're down to your last 3 blinds, 9-5 suit's actually not a bad hand to get it in with. You're rarely going to be a favorite against what calls you, but you also won't be that far behind, and you're getting a good price. And as you can see here, David is technically a favorite, and that's because of card removal. We know that an ace has been folded.
Good luck, David.
David, the good opportunity to double up here if he can improve.
Let's go to the flop. Oh, there's a 9 just like that, and 2 hearts for Dave Peters. Looking good right there.
Killer flop for David Peters. Of course, the ace of hearts would give him a flush, and one of the other offsuit aces was already folded, so Maxime down to 1 out.
Yeah, 4 on the turn doesn't help Maxime, so the man from Toledo, Ohio, David Peters, looking pretty good to double up here. And it's gonna happen. 8 of diamonds. Loves poker. He says poker's the only job he's ever had. And he's made over 23 million earned in poker. That is online and live combined. But things haven't gone that well for him tonight so far.
No, it's been a number of setbacks for David Peters thus far. That was one of the first pots that he actually won today.
And we move on. Brendan does the usual split of the cards, fake out.
Speaking of, I'm not sure we've seen Brendan play a hand yet.
Not many. It's tough to get the oil man in a pot, but right now Eric Afriat.
Eric only has about 11 or 12 blinds here. A lot of players choose to just go all in with an ace on the button when they're that short. I like that Eric's raising small though, because there are some really short stacks around this table. It's kind of close for him. Uh-oh. Maxime though, with an ace-10 suited in the small blind, he is going to make some noise. Checking out the stack at Derek Walters and says, I'm all in.
Yep, Walters gets out of their way and back on Afriat.
This guy is a machine, man. Never seen a poker play like that in my life. 30 years. Sorry.
Yeah, and the action clock is ticking down on him. He's going to have to use a time bank chip in about 1 second.
You're a luck box.
There it is. Time bank chip automatically comes into play.
Fold.
And he's going to make a good lay down there.
Yeah, he makes a good lay down. I'm, again, not a big fan of his show.
Guy's like a... I told him he's an insect, this guy. Guy's an insect.
Valuable information he's giving away for free.
Well, he's a non-professional, but he's made a lot of money in the game. He's a charming guy until things like that happen.
That's absolutely right. Okay, David Peters with King-Queen suited here first to act. Of course, he is all in for his last 7 blinds.
Let's see if David will get some action with this. Derek Walters not going to play. Brendan, he'll do his slow roll here.
And again, Brendan facing a shove with a fairly good hand in the
Does the
blinds.
same thing every time. Then he folds it.
Good luck, brother.
All right, and now the pump man wakes up with ace-jack, though, and he has made the call.
Getting the right price. He is a small favorite over David. This is essentially a coin flip, but David does need to improve to stay alive. Otherwise, he's going to be our 6th place finisher.
Yeah, David Peters, a great player. Oh, no, a flop of an ace-7-6. Not good for Peters. Patrick hitting the aces just like that.
Yeah, awesome flop for Pat. You see there, David now just 7%. Oh, okay.
Whoa, 4 flush now for Peters. There's some hope.
Gotta be a sweat.
Yeah. Always, man, always.
Will he get the heart? Here we go.
Wow, and just like that, with the 10 of clubs on the river, David Peters is eliminated in 6th place. I said he was the man to beat tonight, but unfortunately just could not find a hand to get some chips with. Vince?
One of the great poker players in the game, $18 million in earnings, but tonight he's going to take home 78,000 Canadian. Let's talk to him.
Very disappointed. It was certainly a rough day. Maybe made a mistake or two, I'm not sure, but nothing went right.
And with that, we'll have to leave you for tonight from Playground Poker Club in Montreal, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the WPT.
The World Poker Tour is sponsored by Club WPT. Play poker for real cash and prizes today at clubwpt.com.
I can outplay these guys. Got my shot. Got this. If I get the card prepared for this today, one time. Breathe.
You never know when your time is going to come. To rise above the rest. To seize the opportunity. To be crowned a champion. Is it time for your story to be told? The World Poker Tour.
In Canada, players continue to chase the coveted WPT Montreal title. I'm Lynn Gilmartin, and this is the World Poker Tour. We've already seen some impressive play at this final table, and it's not over yet. Keeping an eye on all the action are Vince Van Patten and Tony Dunst.
Well, we're watching a great event here at Playground Poker Club, but the real story is about Pat Quinn, non-professional player. He owns some pubs, and he's playing like he's a big-time pro because he can do it all. He can play tight, he can mix up his game, he can steal a pot. It's paying off for him.
That's right, Vince, but Pat's got to contend against Maxime Maroux, a local player looking for his first major score and major title tonight. Has put himself in a great position here and thus far is playing masterful poker. That said, we got 3 short stacks still around this table, seeing if they can put something together.
Yeah, Eric Afriat is a WPT champion. He's tough, he's hanging around. So we got a good one going here, Lynn.
Thanks, guys. Along with $400,000 in Canadian cash and the champion's belt, tonight's winner will also receive a stunning Hublot Big Bang steel watch. Now, they're almost ready to start back up, so let's check the chip counts and get back to the action.
All right, here's a look at our updated leaderboard. Pat and Max sharing the chip lead at this stage. Derek Walters in 3rd place, Eric Afriat in 4th, and our short stack, Brendan Bach, with just 8 big blinds hanging around.
Yeah, big event on the line here tonight. Andy's at 15,000, blinds are 50 and 100. Let's go to the felt. Maxime, look at this, pair of 10s for this man. Maxime will raise it up to 200,000. Derek Walters going out. And now Brendan Bach from Orange County, California.
Brendan has not had many hands at this final table. The problem with his deuces here is he only has 8 blinds, so he can't even get a fold from Max, so you see him slide his deuces into the muck.
And there is Patrick Quinn, the pub man, gonna fold. Eric Afriat, a WPT champion, will stick around with a Jack-9, and we will see a flop. Here is the flop. It's a King 4-3, so 10's looking good.
Safe flop for Max's pocket 10s. He'll check back here, leading to a 5 of hearts on the turn. Really nothing happening for Eric, and he looks disinterested. Max reaches for chips, and Eric throws his cards away before Max can even bet.
Maxime taking that one down. He's 26 years old. He lives 5 minutes away from Playground Poker Club.
He's essentially a playground resident. I'm sure if they didn't make him go home, he wouldn't.
It's the kind of apartment I want to get.
Just go downstairs to the casino? I used to live right across the street from the casino in Australia, and I loved it.
That's a thing of beauty. All right, we move on. A couple folds.
Over to Eric again in the small blind, and he's going to make a sneaky play here. He just limps in with ace-10 offsuit in the small blind. He's kind of short, so I'm a little surprised he's not raising.
Maxime with just a 7-3, content to see the flop. So ace-10 versus 7-3. Here we go. A big ace on the flop with a queen-9.
Great flop for Eric here, but still slow playing. Checks it over to Max. Max has absolutely nothing and does not take the bait. Checks behind. And he's going to turn a pair.
Eric used to be in the clothing business. 48 years old. He's a businessman. And now he's going to bet 150.
Eric has one of the best fashion senses in all of poker. We've seen him every day leading up to this final table, dressed to impress, as he takes down that pot with top pair.
One on it.
This guy's got 6 in it. This guy's just incredible. Anytime he doesn't re-raise, I have to back out.
And here Eric is showing his ace again.
Oh my lord. You're the goat.
You're brilliant, man. Just to show you, you have everything under control.
We've talked about this earlier in this final table, that Eric gives away a lot of information for free. And that's kind of dangerous when you're playing with professionals who are going to be able to exploit what you show them.
Well, he thinks he's better than that, and maybe he is. All right, we move on. Brendan Baksh takes his time, then mucks. And now it's on the pub man, Patrick Quinn, who's been so impressive. He's got queen-9.
Yeah, Pat's played pretty solid at this final table too, so I'm a little surprised that he's getting in the mix with queen-9 offsuit here.
Makes it 325 to go.
But he is in a really good position to attack the short stacks around the table. Maxime is not going out of his way to mess with Pat right now, and Derek and Eric are both kind of short and trying to wait out Brendan.
Yeah, so Pat Quinn will take that.
I think we should go to blinds, 10-20. Let's play some poker.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Huh?
I would agree with that.
Now let's play. At least we're gonna have a chance to play.
Do you know that it's Pat Quinn's first ever WPT event?
That's right. Very impressive result here. Not only just the result, but how he's handling himself at this final table. We see no sign of nerves.
No. Into the next pot, a bunch of folds, and now Maxime with just a 10-3.
1.5, roughly. All in.
Wow. And he's going to push all in with a junk hand.
Huh. That might be a little much. I'm not sure.
Well, just depends what Brendan has. That's not much. And he's going to fold.
I like that Maxime is attacking these short stacks on the blinds, and I like that he went all in instead of raising and allowing them to come over the top. I'm not sure I want to make that play with 10-3 offsuit, but hey, Max is the one with the chip lead here tonight.
Yeah, he describes his style as aggressive and unpredictable. He showed it there. So he wants to show off to his buddies here. Playing well here tonight. This time he's going to fold. Derek Walters lives in Tempe, Arizona. Quite a player. He goes out, though.
Brendan has been very snug at this final table so far. I'm not sure we've seen him play a hand, but maybe he got involved once. Thus far, I've been pretty content to fold and wait for either a hand or one of the other short stacks eliminations.
I'm all in.
Patrick Quinn's going all in.
Sorry, bro.
With just Jack-6, but he'll quickly take that pot. So nicely done by Patrick Quinn. Quite a player, a non-professional, but looking good here tonight.
Yeah, I'm a very social person. We built our bars befriending customers and buying them pints. Myself and my family, we have the Irish Embassy, PJ O'Brien's, Quinn's Steakhouse in Toronto, and the Irish Embassy in Montreal, and that's one of the reasons I'm up here to see my brother Paul. I'm quite confident today. I'll be upset if I'm not in the first 3. The younger guys normally put us older characters on the solid play, so you can sometimes slip through a few bluffs here and there. I want my name on the cup. I'd love to be part of that history. You know, just hopefully get some cards, and if not, I'm just going to have to use the dirty looks. You know, go from there.
Oh, what a character. Patrick Quinn, his first time ever playing on the World Poker Tour. He's out in front with the chips. Good attitude. He gives guys dirty looks at the table, Tony.
Yeah, sure. He's giving a few dirty looks at the behind the bar as well.
That's right. You don't give dirty looks.
I don't. I really try and stay stoic. Even if someone is trying to irritate me, I just let it slide.
You have like loving looks to people, right? You're very loving at the table. Good karma, very soft. Doesn't mean that you are, just because the looks you're giving.
No, I'll be very kind to you as I try and cut your throat.
All right, now look at this. Maxime with just 9-4 is going to shove all in. But he's going to get called because Derek Walters has a real hand this time. Picks up ace-queen.
Good luck.
All right, good luck, man.
I don't mean it.
Just...
The flop is a king-king-6, so ace-queen out in front. Derek Walters, professional player for 9 years out of Tempe, Arizona, in front. Let's go to the turn. It's a 3. That's pretty safe there for Walters.
Well, Max, clearly not nervous enough to disrupt his appetite.
Very casual. 10 of diamonds on the river. It's going to work out for Derek. He does not have to go home yet. Knuckles his buddies on the rail. Nicely done, Derek.
There's plenty more poker action to come. Plus, we see if players know the difference between their hockey and poker. And Phil Hellmuth is lying in wait, ready for tonight's raw deal. Stick around.
Sure, they love poker here at Playground, but they also love hockey.
So, we decided to give some of our players a little vocabulary quiz. Poker or hockey?
It is hockey with the stick in the puck upper corner. Oui.
Hockey or poker?
That's gotta be poker.
Power play. Hockey.
Right.
All right, good start.
Oh, that is definitely poker. It is the poker. It is the poker.
Poker. All right, let's do it.
I'm impressed.
La boule.
That's gotta be poker.
You think? Money bubble.
Okay. Oh, I don't want that.
No, that's bad.
Get rid of that one.
Hockey.
You sure?
Yes.
Hey, you got it. All right.
Hockey?
Hockey?
Yes.
You don't sound confident. You sure?
Final answer.
Final answer. Chips. Poker.
Hey, but you started really good.
I started good. I don't know.
Thank
you so much.
Absolutely.
You killed it. Killed it.
Baller.
How's your French, Vince?
Not as good as Kurt Kohlberg's, I'll tell you that much. But right now, Patrick Quinn is the chip leader, Tony, with 7.7 million. Can he close here tonight?
Well, he looks great so far. I wasn't sure what to expect from this first-time player on the World Poker Tour, but he is really handling himself at this final table.
Yeah, the winner's going to get the name on the Champions Cup, and he also gets that beautiful belt here.
Derek Walters raised up ace-jack offsuit on the button. Pat made the call in the big blind with 6-4 offsuit. And he's flopped a gut shot here, but not much else. He's gonna check. So Derek will take a stab.
175.
Pat will make this call. Little bit of a loose call, so I wonder if he intends to bluff the river if he ends up missing and the turn goes check, check.
7 on the turn. Pat's going to check. Derek also going to check. He's out in front. 3 on the river. Nothing happening.
So Pat has indeed missed. Not a terrible card for him to bluff. Shouldn't improve Derek in any meaningful way. There's a lot of stuff that Pat can have that has missed here, including hearts, 4-5, 6-4, 6-5.
Well, it's easy to say when you see those 5 cards that we're seeing.
Right.
But right now, he's been bet 650. And this would be a heck of a call if you'd ever call this with ace high.
And I'd like to point out that I love the way Pat is playing this hand.
He's doing
he has
it.
Bluff the river, and wow, what a call by Derek.
Whoa. Call of the night right there.
And I also like that Pat just mucked there. He didn't show Derek how wide he was calling on the flop and bluffing the river.
There's a quick pause in the action here at WPT Montreal, so let's take a moment to get you up to speed on the Hublot WPT Player of the Year race. A quick look in the standings shows Art Prakazian way out in front of the field after he won his 2nd title of the season at WPT Maryland. Now, while Art's lead appears big, there are many big point WPT events coming up on the schedule, so we'll keep you posted on who emerges to contend with him. Now, let's get back down to the table.
Yeah, 5 players remain. Winner's going to take home 403,000 Canadian. Maxime Heroux with the pair of 10s. And he will raise the 200,000. Now look at this, Derek with ace-king just calling.
I like this call from Derek very much. He's in 3rd chip position right now, and he's well ahead of Brendan and Eric, so he doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks to get eliminated here. Plus, he can hit top pair and be very disguised.
Well, Patrick also in with ace-9, so 3-way action. Well, the flop comes up Jack 4-3, all clubs.
What a flop here, Vince. Derek with 2 overcards and the king high flush draw. Max with the best hand, pair of 10s and a flush draw. And Pat, ace high with the ace high flush draw.
A couple checks, and now Derek with just the ace king, but the big king of clubs is going to bet it 350.
Pat certainly not going away. Looks like he's going to call. And now Maxime likely thinks that if he calls and finds a club, it's probably not good. But he has to wonder whether he has the best hand right now. And he appears to be reaching for raising chips.
Oh boy, he's going to try to squeeze this here.
Wow.
Little does he know what's behind him. Yes, he's made a 1.2 million total.
Huh. I guess he's saying, I'm willing to get all in against Derek, and I want to define Pat's range here a little better.
Derek goes out. And Patrick now. Call. Just going to call it and wish for a club or an ace.
Yeah, Pat obviously looking for a club. An ace would...
Oh!
Yeah, that'll give him the best hand.
Beautiful card. Ace is there for Patrick.
Now, when someone like Max check raises 2 players on this monotone board, I don't know that Pat can feel super confident that his ace is good yet, but after it goes check-check on the turn, now he's likely feeling better.
And a 6, so no flush. Pat will check it again. Maxime feels he's beat.
I would be stunned if Max did anything but check here.
Is he going to take a stab? No, he's going to check it, and Pat shows the ace, and he's going to extend the chip lead right now. Patrick Quinn looking good. 5 players remain. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour. Stay with us. This episode is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official soft drink of the World Poker Tour. Hublot, the official watch of the World Poker Tour. And Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of the World Poker Tour.
All right, here's a look at our updated leaderboard. Pat Quinn now has a nice distance between himself and Max in 2nd place. Derek Walters with 3 million, and Eric and Brendan very short at this stage, looking for a double up.
Yeah, the winner's going to take home 403,000 Canadian dollars. Get his name on the trophy, get a free belt, the Hublot watch, everything that comes with it. And we move on 5-handed poker, and Brendan Box picking up a pair of 10s.
He's been very patient at this final table, but now finally finds a premium hand.
He's going to push it all in.
Good luck, Brendan.
Down to his last 3 blinds, so the big blind can essentially call him without even looking at his cards.
Well, he's got an awful 7 deuce of diamonds, but it is so cheap. You must do that, and that's what he does. He has made the call. So Brendan with 10s out in front against a 7 deuce.
Well, that's what you want your opponent to have when you get all in with pocket 10s. 2 undercards.
Yeah, it's a good story, getting knocked out by 7 deuce.
Yeah, it is a good story, you're right.
Good luck, though.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay, let's go to a flop, and actually, not bad for Max here. He's picked up a pair of 7s. He can now hit a 7 or a deuce to take the lead, or he could hit a running straight or flush.
Easy.
Oh boy, Brendan sweating that with his buddies on the rail. 2 cards to come. Okay, it's a 6. That's good for Brendan.
Didn't want to see the diamond.
This is his first WPT cash. He's out in front.
Again.
Brendan Botch,
He knows what to do.
will you double up or will you have to say goodnight? He will double up.
All right, I'm still in, baby. Thank you.
Nice time.
I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to look to call.
Nice hand for Brendan there. Had to wait for it, but sometimes patience is the best approach.
My wife Allison and I, we got married last year, October, and I literally married my best friend. Everyone says you get married, everything changes, but nothing has changed. Everything's just gone way better. My job in poker, they're completely different. I work for an oil company, 8 days on and 6 days off. So it allows me to play poker part-time. I kind of like the socialization part of it, and also the opportunity to make a ton of money. This is the deepest I've ever gotten. This is the biggest cash. This is a pretty big moment in my life. Actually, my wife and I are in the market for a house. So I'd love to win that belt and the money to buy a house and put the belt in.
Well, the dream is very much alive for this man.
Thank you.
You know, he's good friends with Garrett Greer, a great poker player.
Garrett has done very well on the World Poker Tour.
Garrett actually officiated his wedding, which is nice.
Oh, that is nice.
Eric, you're so close to a pay jump, huh?
I don't care about the money. I need to win this.
On Brendan.
I need to win. So I don't care about the money. I need to win this.
Fold that. Patrick Quinn with the pair of 7s. He is the chip leader with about 8.7 million.
300.
And he's going to make it 300,000 to go. Eric goes out. And Maxime now looks down at a real hand. There it is. Pair of queens. The ladies.
This is interesting because Pat is the clear 1, Max is the clear 2, everyone else is much shorter. So I wonder if Max will call here and try and reduce variance, which he decides to do, whereas many players would 3-bet and just try and play a big pot with one of the best holdings. Derek Walters here going to call with Queen 10 suited.
Well, that's the thing about just calling with the queens. You induce another player to stick around.
Right.
With Derek with the Queen 10 of clubs, pair of queens, and 7s, and the flop is a 9-6 deuce.
This is a great flop for Max because Pat, with his 7s, has to feel fairly confident that he has the best hand and should keep investing some chips into this pot.
Well, he's checked it. So did Derek, and now Patrick saying, I could be in front. I'm going to show some power. 590.
All right. Max has a decision between calling and raising again and elects to call.
And Derek, with nothing there, goes out. So the queen's very disguised at this moment. Going to the turn. It's an 8. Gives an open-ended now to Patrick Quinn.
Great turn card for Pat. Looks like he's going to check.
Yeah, hoping to hit a straight river card. Will he get there? No, it's an ace of hearts.
And that should shut things down here. Max will check. I think that Pat has too good of a hand to bluff and too weak of a hand to value bet, but he's reaching for chips. And I would say that this is the first real mistake we've seen Pat make. I don't think this is crazy. I believe that he believes he's bluffing. Maybe he's trying to bluff out a 9 or something, but there's really just not that many hands that are better than his that he can get to fold with this bet. And so that's why I don't like it.
Irish pub owners don't just check on the end. You bet it. You force a guy to play.
However, this is still not an easy call for Maxime, and you see him struggling with it. He knows his opponent can have an ace, but if he doesn't have an ace, it's hard to believe he has a better hand. And his hand, after just calling pre-flop, is underrepresented here as we see the action clock ticking away on Max. Time bank chip may come into play here.
No more time extensions for me.
Maxime played the queens very slow throughout this whole hand.
And he's struggling, but he's got the call chips in his hand. There it is.
Nice call. Good call.
Yeah.
I like the bet, and I like the call. They're gambling. They're fighting for pots.
Here at Playground Poker Club, everyone's after the WPT Montreal belt. And when we return, Phil Hellmuth tries not to hit below it.
Stay tuned for the raw deal.
Stop playing mindless all-in, all-the-time poker on those other social poker sites and start putting your skills to the test at playwpt.com. The chips don't come easy, so your opponent will think twice before going all in with 7 deuce.
Authentic poker anytime, anywhere. PlayWPT.com.
We're back in Montreal at the Playground Poker Club where 5 players compete for this championship. Maxime Aru out in front, Tony.
Yeah, but hot on his tail is Pat Quinn. Derek Walters in third at 2.6, and Eric and Brendan still short. Still waiting for some magic.
Yeah, the Andes are now 20,000. Blinds are 60-120. Here we go. Patrick Quinn. First to play goes out. Eric Afriet, WPT champion, also will not play. Around to Maxime. He's only been a poker pro for 5 years. He's 26 years old. He's got King 8.
275.
There you go. We're going to make a 275 to go. Derek folds. And Brendan with a 6-5.
If he had a few more chips, he might take a flop and see if he connects. I'm not sure if he'll do that when he only has 5 lines. Nope. Brendan going out here, really hoping that Eric gets eliminated before him or that he finds a strong enough hand to double up with. Been a very quiet final table for Brendan Bax. As we see there, he's still in 4th, but essentially tied with Eric Afriat for the short stack position on our leaderboard. Now action with that other short stack, Eric Afriat, and he's got ace-8 with about 5 blinds.
All in.
So he's going for it.
Maxime out, Derek out.
Guys, I need some chips.
Let's see if Eric will get action with this. And Brendan, oh, he's got a pair of 4s.
I would be stunned if he called, though. I think he's really just trying to wait Eric out at this point. But man, he's also very, very short.
Come on, chap, you and me. If you have more than ace-jack, you're good.
Eric says you got more than ace-jack, you're good, and that's true this time.
And Brendan's going to get out of the way. Now Patrick.
590, right?
Jack 4.
Karma.
You know what? Every now and again, everyone deserves a little break.
He's going to lay it down. Eric shows his ace. Eric going to stick around for now.
Eric, a big fan of showing cards when he doesn't have to.
But there's nothing to cheer about.
Here at WPT Montreal, Phil Hellmuth is keeping warm by getting all fired up in tonight's Raw Deal.
Swedish.
Good fold.
Oh, my lord. Folks, I show hole cards to manipulate other players. I show it when I have it.
Oh, get in there. How do you get so many hands?
When I'm strong.
I had my mind made up. I know you're moving in with any ace.
When I have the nuts.
Well, just when the chips go in the pot, you just always have it.
I want everyone to think I have it every time so that I can bluff them later.
You owe me one.
All right. I would teach other players to do the same. Go ahead and show strong hands. Give the players at the table peace of mind when they fold.
Woohoo! Bottom set.
But I never show a bluff. If you show someone a bluff, then they will want to attack you later. For beginners, showing hole cards is like playing with fire. Shh. I still recommend it. Don't burn your house down. Don't burn your cash up, because experienced pros could use it against you. By the way, I don't always show cards. There are times I fold an ace in the big blind. I don't show it. Maybe I'll fold 10s or ace-jack.
I don't show it because I don't want my opponents to think that they can bluff me. If you want to show hold cards, make sure you have a plan. Otherwise, never reveal your hold cards.
Well, I'll tell you something. Phil giving us a lot of insight into what he does. He's absolutely right. Now, he doesn't show those bluffs, so he does maneuver people quite well.
Yeah, he establishes an image and then tries to manipulate the weaker opponents at the table based on the image he's constructed.
Did Phil Hellmuth show us a little too much? Anyway, back to the action here. Maxime with the full Derek out, and now Brendan. He's got a little pair of threes. He's got the button. He's on a short stack.
We saw Brendan fold his last little pair, but now
there you
he
go.
can open the action with an all-in here and take his shot of taking down the blinds.
So he has gone all in. Patrick Quinn, though, with King Jack right behind him.
Call. Yep. Make this call. Too strong to fold for just 4 or 5 blind all in.
They turn him up.
Good luck, bud. Thanks.
A race situation. Threes for Brendan.
Yeah.
King Jack for Pat Quinn.
Put a 3 out there. Yeah. Put a 3 in the window.
5 cards to come, and it's a 10-10-5 on the flop. The 3's in front.
Oh my goodness.
There it goes. Another 5-2 pair on the board now.
Chop on. Ace 5 or a 3.
And now Brendan needs a 3 for a win, or a 10 or a 5 for a chop.
Unbelievable. Huge favorite now to knock him out. Oh, it's a 5! A 5, so Brendan's going to stick around with a chop.
Hang out for a while, Brendan.
What drama we just saw there. Brandon doesn't want to go. He doesn't have to go. 5 players remain here at Playground Poker Club. We're coming back with more action in just a moment.
To date, over $1 million worth of VIP packages have been awarded to Club WPT members. You too can win your travel and entry into an upcoming WPT main event by playing on clubwpt.com.
Welcome back to the Playground Poker Club in Montreal. 5 players competing for this title here tonight, and as you can see, Maxime Moreau is the chip leader with 7.3 million in chips.
Yeah, Max and Pat have been comfortably out in front all night. Derek Walters in 3rd place, hanging steady. And Brendan and Eric still grinding their short stacks, as we see Brendan fold 9-8 suited there. That's a hand a lot of players would go all in with on his stack, but I guess Brendan really hoping that Eric Afriat gets eliminated first.
Well, Pat Quinn is going to raise. He's a non-professional. And now Maxime with Jack 8 of diamonds. Will make this call. So the 2 chip leaders going after it. This pot, blinds are 60 and 120.
Max with a real nice hand to make a call within the big blind, but does not connect on this ace, queen, queen flop. Neither does Pat.
Yeah, Maxime checks, and so does the barman. Going to the turn. 2 of hearts changes nothing.
Max has not been bluffing very much in these situations at the final table. For the most part, when he has nothing, he just relinquishes the pot to whoever bets first. And Pat here with his king high does have the best hand. Looks like he's going to fire out a bet of 475.
If you don't catch, you might as well bet. Try to take it without a hand. He's going to do so with king high. I tell you, for a non-professional player, first time ever on the World Poker Tour playing any event, he is playing amazingly well.
He is playing tremendous poker at this final table. Often, when an amateur player comes in with a chip lead, I'm worried that they're going to play much too tight or much too loose. But Pat has really found a nice balance thus far at this final table and shows that he belongs.
All right, action on Brendan. He goes out, back on Pat. He's got the 7 deuce. Can't play that. Here's WPT champion Eric Afriat. He's got ace 8.
Well, that looks like go time to me. Eric sitting with about 5 or 6 blinds here on the button. And he just puts half his stack into the middle instead of going all in, which is an odd choice. I'm not sure why he elected to do that instead of an all in, because I can't imagine that he's going to fold if somebody puts the money in.
Well, now Derek Walters with a Jack-9 of spades has a decision.
Yeah. If I had to guess, Derek will just get the money in here. These sort of suited connecting hands really benefit from seeing all 5 cards.
6 something total.
All in.
Yep.
All in, quickly called by Eric. So Eric Afriat calling the hand. He's a slight favorite. Man has been at the final table 4 times on the World Poker Tour. He's been a champion on the World Poker Tour.
Well, he needs his hand to hold up here if he wants a shot at being a 2-time champion on the World Poker Tour.
Ace of hearts.
Yep, hope to get lucky. He looks over to his friends.
All right, we'll go to a flop. Oh, and Derek drills this flop. It is Jack-6 deuce with 2 spades. At this point, Eric needs either running spades or a red ace to win this pot and stay alive.
What a flop for Derek from Arizona. Just destroying Eric right there.
Jack on the turn,
Wow.
and Eric Afriat's tournament is over. He will finish in 5th place here at his home casino. Great run by a crowd favorite. Quad jacks on the river for Derek Walters. Total overkill scores the elimination of local favorite Eric Afriat.
Yeah, Eric, a WPT champion, will take home $95,000. Let's go talk to him.
Very happy the way I played. I couldn't have done more than I just did right now.
With Eric Afriat out, only 4 players have a shot at skating their way to a title. Who will be iced next? Stick around.
Watching a final table just makes me want to be at a final table. Luckily, with Play WPT, I can be in action while calling the action.
I like to catch some rays while I catch my cards on Play WPT. I like to collect shells while I collect chips on Play WPT.
Oh, yes! I like to practice my lines while I practice my game on Play WPT.
Play anywhere, anytime, on your computer, or download the app today on playwpt.com.
All right, there's a look at our updated leaderboard. Pat Quinn, 7.3 million. Maxime, 6.9. Derek Walters now with 3.3 million. And Brendan Bach, our short stack, a little above 600,000.
That's right, blinds at 6120 with a $20,000 ante. Here we go, action on the barman, Patrick Quinn.
Nice.
Got Queen 7 of clubs. He will raise to 350 total. Maxime goes out. Derek goes out. And now Brendan looks at a solid king-queen.
Yeah, Brendan is super short. He has finally managed to wait out the other short stacks and can get his chips in with a good hand. And that's what we see him doing here.
Yeah, cool. Nice hand, buddy. Hey, very nice.
Insta call, of course, by Patrick.
Come on, buddy. Good luck, man. Thank you, thank you. Good luck, good luck. Always the best. Oh, God. You with my 3, too.
Okay, well, the 6-5-3 flop is actually pretty good for Pat.
I don't even want to look at it.
Picks out a gut shot straight draw with a 4. He can hit running clubs for a flush and still has an out to the 7.
But meanwhile, Brendan's still out in front and a favorite, and it's looking good. Jack of spades on the turn.
Okay, just one more card to dodge. Patrick gonna need a 7 or a 4. Otherwise, Brendan doubles up.
This is his first time ever WPT cash, and he's gonna do well here. Jack on the river.
Oh, man.
Nice hand, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Nice hand, buddy. Chip in the chair, baby.
Brendan dodges another bullet.
Well, Brendan's approach of just waiting out the short stacks and then getting his money in looks good so far.
Yeah, and Brendan's buddies at the Dr. Pepper bar, loving that moment. And back to the action we go. Derek Walters from Tempe, Arizona goes out. And Brendan with the 5 and 10 of hearts.
That's a close one when you have 10 blinds on the button. I definitely go all in with 10-7 suited, probably 10-6. 10-5 seems awful close. Now with Pat in the small blind, holding Jack-10. He's going to make this call against Maxime in the big blind.
He's got the Jack-8. Not that exciting.
Looks like he's going to raise, though. For much of this final table, Max has avoided playing big pots against Pat, but he does edge him out in chips right now. And I think we're going to see him apply a slightly more aggressive approach, especially when he's in position. Meanwhile, Pat makes the call.
And here we go. It's a 9-8-3. So Maxime out flopping Pat. Hits the 8s.
It's an interesting flop. Middle pair for Max. Open-ended straight draw for Pat. And wow, after check on the flop, Max hits trips on the turn.
That's right.
And I'm curious whether Pat will bet. I certainly hope that he does, because his opponent can have some high card combinations here that will give up to 1 or 2 bets.
600.
Yep, he's open-ended, and he's going to get aggressive. 600,000.
And little does Pat know that he's actually bluffing right into trips. So does Max want to call or raise? Gonna be a call.
Down to the river. Pat would like to spike the right card. It's not going to be. Ace of clubs on the river.
Well, that may be a card that slows Pat down, because he's worried that Max had ace high, had a club flush draw, and there he does check it. So that's a nice check by Pat. He would have been lighting those chips on fire had he bet.
1.2 million.
Max, of course, not going anywhere with his trips, is going to bet 1.2 million for value. And obviously not get called by Jack High.
This is Maxime Heyroux's 3rd WPT cash. He did it here once before, and also at Fallsview. But tonight he's going to win a lot more. Pat Quinn this time with just a Queen 5. He gets out of the way.
Max out with 9-7. Now with Derek holding Queen Deuce suited against the short stack Brendan, he knows what to do. And Brendan, hoping for just anything good like an ace. That's pretty good in this spot. Yep, Brendan will make this call, and so his tournament life on the line again.
Ace 4. Ace 4. Yeah.
1 queen was folded, a couple of diamonds were folded. So Brendan about a 2-1 favorite to double up, but Derek hoping to score the elimination and reduce this final table to 3 players.
12 aces out there, all three of them.
All right, let's go to a flop. And it is 10-10-7, so essentially a safe flop for Brendan there. Derek does pick up a backdoor flush draw.
Just don't run our boat out, though.
Going to the turn. It's a queen. Oh, man. Oh, what a card. Derek hitting the queens. And Brendan is in shock.
Yeah, just 3 outs going to the river. An ace and only an ace will save his tournament life.
Can he get lucky? No, it's a 9.
Brandon going to be eliminated in 4th place. Derek Walters scores the elimination.
Great effort by Brandon, the oil man. He'll take home $124,000. Let's go see what he has to say.
You know what? I'm a little bummed right now. I was hoping I was going to win that last flip, but you know, I would do it all over again. This is what every poker player lives for, you know.
That's all we have time for tonight. We'll see you next time when the winner will hoist the champion's belt here at WPT Montreal. Good night.
The World Poker Tour is sponsored by Club WPT. Play poker for real cash and prizes today at clubwpt.com.
I can outplay these guys. Got my shot. Got this. If I get prepared for this day, at one time, breathe.
You never know when your time is going to come. To rise above the rest. To seize the opportunity. To be crowned a champion. Is it time for your story to be told? The World Poker Tour.
Although it can get cold here in Canada, things are heating up at the WPT Montreal final table. Good evening, I'm Lynn Gilmartin, and this is the WPT. The finish line is on the horizon, and here to bring us home are Vince Van Patten and Tony Dunst.
Well, Lynn, what a tournament we are seeing at Playground Poker Club. We're down to 3 players, and right now we have 2 professional players going at it up against a non-professional, and that is Pat Quinn, who owns pubs in Canada. But a very exciting event so far.
Yeah, that's right, Vince. Pat came in with the chip lead at this final table.
To review the chip counts and head down to the felt.
All right, there's an updated leaderboard. Maxime Roux above 8 million, Derek Walters at 6, and Pat Quinn a little above 4 million.
And he's 20,000, line 6120. Here we go down to the money pit. Derek Walters. He's got a suited connector. He's from Tempe, Arizona, and he will raise this up to 250 to go. Pat Quinn goes out.
Max here with an ace-deuce in the big blind. It's going to make the call.
Yeah, Max is 26 years old, poker pro, lives right down the road here from Playground Poker. He's got a lot of friends here. And here's the flop. It's an ace-jack 4. There's 2 diamonds.
Good flop for both players. Max top pair, Derek with the flush draw. We'll see some chips go in.
Yeah, Derek gonna make that continuation bet. 205 with the 4 flush. And Max, of course, hitting aces. Okie dokie calls. The 2 chip leaders competing, and a diamond on the turn gives a flush to Derek Walters.
There it is. Derek's definitely going to bet here, and I would be very surprised if Max gave up on his top pair that easily. So the real decision for Max in this hand is going to be on the river.